Hello, hello, my friends. The first week of June is already in the books, which means that it is time for me to sit down and share with you the early June candle chat. This is a series that I strive to do twice a month on my channel. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it ends up only being once a month. But I like to sit down and share with you guys what I currently have in my burn rotation. I give you maybe some updates to post-burn reviews. I give you some initial post-burn thoughts on candles maybe that I haven't reviewed yet. Talk about some old favorites. So yeah, it's just kind of like a big conglomerate of what is currently in my rotation right now. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I give you a little bit of warning. I tend to talk a lot in these videos because again, I'm kind of like squeezing in a bunch of mini reviews. So you might want to grab a drink, grab a snack, settle in, maybe put some earbuds in and do some chores around the house. I mean, not telling you to do your chores around the house, but honestly, that's usually how I quote unquote watch YouTube. I'm usually multitasking as I normally do. But yeah, I hope that you enjoy this video. If you do, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new, but let's go ahead and dive right on into this. So before I talk about what I actually have right here in front of me, I want to talk about what I am currently burning. So over to my right here in the living room, I am burning Kringle Candles Bottle Rocket. Now that is a new fragrance. I believe it was launched 2 weeks ago now. It's definitely supposed to be reminiscent of a bottle rocket popsicle. Definitely there are some notes of cherry. There's a cherry note in there, but there's also a little bit of a blue raspberry and kind of like I want to say it's lemon, but it's not like your like lemon gelato or like a super lemony type of fragrance. It's almost like a frosty, slightly lemon type of scent. It's what would be in that like white part in the middle of the bottle rocket popsicle. Now, truth be told, you guys, this is a fragrance that I kind of feel like is a little bit on the chopping block for me. I like it, but I don't love it. If you've been with my channel any length of time, you guys know cherry, I usually don't gravitate towards. Now, the cherry pie fragrance from Kringle, I love that one, but I think it's because there's definitely more of a pastry accord. It's more heavy on the pastry note, and the cherry note that I get in there is mixed with a little bit of strawberry, I think. So I like that one, is a lot more appetizing to me. This one to me is very sweet. I think it's on the chopping block because I don't not like it. I like it, but I don't love it. I don't find myself like, just reaching for it and saying, oh gosh, I can't wait to burn that one. And I am at about almost the halfway point on it. It's burning well for me. I did do a dedicated review on it prior to the launch. But I will say strength and throw on this one is not very strong. I would say of the two, the cherry pie fragrance has a little bit more projection on it. This one, I would say I'm burning it out here in the open concept living room, and I would give it about a 6. I have to be a little bit closer to it to smell it. So yeah, I like it. I don't love it. I could see myself passing it along. If somebody were to walk into my home and say, oh, I love that fragrance, I would probably be like, okay, here, you can have it. So that is what I am currently burning here in the living room. In my bedroom, I am burning Homeworx's Valencia Orange. Now that is one of my favorite orange fragrances across the board. That fragrance I have purchased, I think this is probably my 3rd time having it in my collection. I feel like it's a good pairing with this bottle rocket because the Valencia Orange actually reminds me a little bit of like an orange popsicle, specifically the popsicle that is around like an orange creamsicle. There's no creaminess, no vanilla to it, which they did have an orange creamsicle candle a couple of years ago. And I think the reason why I'm associating the Valencia Orange with an orange popsicle is because I feel like the orange accord that they are using in that candle is the same orange accord that they used in that orange creamsicle, but this is just lacking the creaminess of it. Now that candle is actually performing quite well for me. I am noticing that it's taking a little bit longer to pool out, which some of my Homeworx candles have been doing that over the last, I would say over the last year and a half. That's been something that I've noticed with Homeworx candles. But it's throwing really well for me. I would give it strength and throw right now of about a 7. And that is a more recent purchase from the Homeworx website. So if you're looking on the Slatkin & Co website and you're wanting to know how maybe like a more recent pour is of that candle, I will tell you that it is performing quite well for me. And then over in my daughter's bedroom right now, sometimes I burn 2 candles, sometimes I burn 3. Another fragrance that I feel like is complementing this fragrance, fragrance thing, that profile that I've got going on in the house right now, like Sweet Popsicle. I am actually almost done burning Kringle Candle Reserve Orange fragrance. Now, you guys know that's probably one of my favorite citrus fragrances from Kringle Candle. I did go through one full one last year. This is the one that I'm going through this year. I like the fragrance. I enjoy it quite a bit, but I think right now I'm feeling a little bit over orange scents. It sounds kind of funny. You guys know I'm pretty seasonal. Right now, I am definitely, you're going to see in here, I'm definitely feeling all of these summer tropical type of vibes, and I'm feeling a little bit done with citrus fragrances. So I think that that is one that as soon as it's done, could I see myself repurchasing the orange in the future? Absolutely. I think that I purchased it actually maybe around Christmas time when they had some reserves on sale. I know that they actually just had the orange candle on sale for the Memorial Day, spectacular or whatever. But anyways, I'm almost done with that one. That one is also, I would say, not really a powerhouse. It's between a 6 and a 7 in terms of strength and throw. Performs a little bit better for me in closed concept. I can smell it out here in the open concept, but I would say that it burns best in a closed concept. So those are the 3 fragrances that I currently have burning. I've been burning them for a few hours now. I'm probably going to put them out after I do this video, but wanted to let you know what is currently going on. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what I have here in front of me. And I'm like, which one? Where do I start with? I'm going to go ahead and start with an easy one because I did do a review on this candle earlier this week. And I had mentioned that this is actually a very popular fragrance at Bath & Body Works. A lot of you guys commented that this was one of your all-time favorite summer fragrances, that you make sure that you have backups of it every year just in case Bath & Body Works doesn't bring it back. I do know that their semi-annual sale is probably going to be getting underway here pretty soon. I am not your Bath & Body Works girl. Like I go in and shop, kind of casually. I definitely don't buy the candles when they're full price, but I do know that there are some other content creators who do a wonderful job of covering SAS. But just letting you guys know, I'm probably not going to be that girl for you. But I did purchase Fiji White Sands. In fact, I actually made an exchange. This was the fragrance that I exchanged their Sunlit Glow for. We have fragrance notes here of fresh cut sugarcane, white nectarine, and sandalwood. And this is a really nice beachy fragrance. I like this. It's beachy without being coconut. And I think that that's why it might be particularly popular. I commented back to a couple of you, I think that, or somebody I remembered mentioning that, I was actually pretty surprised to find out in my like quote unquote real life that I actually have quite a few friends who are not a fan of coconut fragrances. And I'm like clutching my pearls. I'm like, really? Like, I love coconut fragrances, but for some people, they don't like coconut. And I feel like this is a great tropical beachy option for people who don't like coconut fragrances. Now, I'm not going to go too into detail about the fragrance on this because most people can walk into a Bath & Body Works and sniff this, but I will say this one is performing quite well for me. So far, the wicks are a little bit long. You'll see that on here, and I did talk about that in my review. I do trim them just slightly. Now, I am almost at the halfway burn mark of this candle, and that is typically where I start to kind of like really eyeball my Bath & Body Works candles, particularly in this neutrals collection, because I noticed that this vessel, they tend to burn very hot and very sooty and dirty, and sometimes they will still then get the puny wicks at the bottom. So we'll see how this goes. There are a couple of fragrances that I really, really love in this neutrals collection. I love pink lavender and espresso. I love coffee and whiskey, which I think will be coming back for SAS. I love that scent. But yeah, this one's nice. Do I see myself needing backups of it? No, but could I repurchase it in the future at some point? Probably I could. This falls into the category of like, if I wasn't a reviewer and somebody who is conscientious about trying to not have a huge candle collection. For me, actually, to be honest with you, I've mentioned this a few times. I don't consider myself a candle collector. I enjoy home fragrance, but I definitely burn through my collection. I definitely have like more of a stash, I would say. I don't like to have tons and tons of backups of candles unless it's a fragrance that I really, really love and I'm concerned that it won't ever come back. But yeah, this is one of those fragrances that I feel like I would repurchase it if I didn't have the, I was going to say the obligation, but that's not it at all. If I didn't feel the need to review new stuff all the time for my channel, if I was just kind of going back to like not having my channel, I could see myself repurchasing this, but even then not feeling like I needed like tons of backups. This is one that I feel like if it came back, great. If it didn't, okay, there's probably other stuff that I will find. But Fiji White Sands performing quite well for me so far. This one's been pretty strong as well. I would give it probably between like 7 and an 8. In terms of strength and throw, it's been pretty good for me. Now, the candle that I've actually been pairing it with is actually a fragrance that I'm burning it right now because I'm trying to get it to the point where I can do a dedicated post burn on it. It is a Homeworx candle that I purchased. This is the fragrance Peach Upside Down Cake. And it's funny because my husband Cody typically does not like peach fragrances, but he actually likes this scent. We have fragrance notes of ripe peach, brown sugar crumble, sweet orange, and baked crust. And here's the thing with this one. I like this fragrance. This to me is definitely more of like a summer to fall transitional scent. I could see myself gravitating towards this, particularly like late July, early August, when I'm kind of over all of the tropical scents, but I'm not yet quite ready for apple and pumpkin and all of that. I feel like these like gourmand peach fragrances are a great transitional scent. This is nice. It is peachy, but you get some brown sugar in there. You kind of get a good crumble going. I've said it before. Homeworx, I still feel like there are other brands coming from, but Homeworx, Harry Slatkin knows how to nail a good gourmand. And I will say that this one is very, very good. Now, the downside with this fragrance is that I find that I want it to be stronger. Right now, I would give this candle probably maybe like a 5.5, 6 at the most. I can definitely smell it in my bedrooms. I would give it about a 6. Let's put it at a 6 right now, because when I burn it in the closed concept in my master bedroom, I smell it really well in there. But I tried burning it out here in the open concept living room the other day, and it was, I couldn't really like, if I really sniffed the air, I could smell it, but it wasn't something that I noticed right away. Now, I have burned it out here in the open concept with a hurricane around it, and then I was able to smell it. But this one, let's see, it has a pour date of October of 2024. So we're about, what, 8 months past. Homeworx candles, if you are newer to the brand, I do find that they are the brand that I purchase from the most, that they get better, they get stronger, I would say, the longer that they cure. So I feel like this is a fragrance that, like, if I were to buy another one of these this year and then let it sit for next year, I would be curious to see how much stronger it got. But this fragrance is really, really nice. If you love a good, like, caramelized, peachy, almost like a good gourmand fragrance, you would really enjoy this one. Now, the wicks are a little bit long on this. You can see that. They're not developing excess carbon. Harry says that his wicks are self-trimming, but I would trim maybe a little bit off of these wicks. Not too short. Don't want to trim these too short because they will develop puny wicks. But this one's burning a little bit hotter, and when those wicks get really long, they might have a tendency to lean. So you might want to be on alert for that. Let's go ahead and talk about a Kringle combo that you guys, if you've been here, you guys know that I love this combination. I am currently burning a 3-wick of ice cream sandwiches. This was my favorite fragrance from 2024. We have fragrance notes here of rainbow sprinkles, sea salt, macadamia nuts, ice cream, ruby chocolate, cotton candy, vanilla milkshake, toasted coconut, and tonka bean. And this one, it's just so good. I get tonka bean. I get mostly macadamia nut, coconut, a little bit of chocolate. You get kind of those artificial sprinkles in there. Ice cream, vanilla ice cream. This one is just so, so good. This one is a powerhouse for me. I do have this in a large 2-wick tumbler, and I'm just trying to finish up this 3-wick. Once I finish up my large 2-wick, I definitely see myself going for the 4-wick. Although I will say that both the 2-wick and the 3-wick formats have been very, very strong performers for me. This one's a good solid 9 in terms of strength and throw. The fragrance lingers after I extinguish it. So yeah, I love this one. Now, I will say so far, I'm not experiencing any issues with the wicks on this one. This one has a December 2024 pour date. I did mention, I think it was in my empties video, that I had some issues with some Kringle 3-wicks that were poured in late 2023, early 2024, when they were kind of undergoing some wick experimentation. But so far, this one is performing really well for me. And then, of course, you guys know my favorite fragrance that I like to pair with ice cream sandwiches is Bananas Foster. Now, I have this 2-wick tumbler. And if you saw my Kringle hauls from the Mother's Day sale, the buy one, get one, you guys know that I actually repurchased a large 2-wick so that way I could burn it alongside the large ice cream sandwiches 2-wick when I light those up. Again, I love pairing this fragrance with the ice cream sandwiches. And the funny thing is about this scent, it's funny because I like this fragrance a lot, but there's something about it with the ice cream sandwiches that it just amps it up a level. I feel like this one paired with anything else, I don't really love it as much. I will say, I know that this is a very polarizing fragrance. A lot of people have said that it smells scorched or burned to you. I actually initially received this fragrance in a 3-wick when they launched that collection in early 2024. They sent it to me in PR and they sent this candle to me in a 3-wick. I will tell you the 3-wick, I don't like this fragrance as much. It starts to smell scorched after like 2 hours of burn time. This one, even in the 2-wick, can get that note, but I don't find it to smell as burned, I guess, to me. This has a booziness of rum to it. You get banana, but it's like a caramelized banana. You get brown sugar. And it's funny because, again, Kringle, a lot of their fragrances where they incorporate a lot of brown sugar and butter in it typically smell scorched to my nose. But there's something about this one. I think it's the banana that saves it for me. I feel like I wouldn't like this one if it were mixed with like a praline or a vanilla. But I really, really like this fragrance. So, and again, this one's a very strong one as well. Even in this small little 2-wick, I would give it about between like a 7.5, 8. It's not as strong as ice cream sandwiches, but it is a pretty strong fragrance and it does like to linger. Let's talk about a country candle real quick that I actually plan to upload a review on this week for you guys, a dedicated review. This is the last fragrance that I need to review actually from the spring and summer PR that was sent to me and that I ended up holding on to. This is the Country Candle Seaside. Now we know that the spring and summer collection was the last time that they are launching anything new from Country Candle. We have fragrance notes here of bergamot, soft fruit, lavender, herbal, driftwood, and moss. And here's the thing about this fragrance. This is a very nice evening burn. I like this. It leans slightly masculine, almost like if you tend to like masculine, fresh, kind of deeper cologne-y type of fragrances. Say if you're that person that loves mahogany coconut or mahogany vanilla at Bath & Body Works, if you tend to like those fragrances, you would like this. Now, it's not a mahogany scent, but if you liked their what was it, Christmas in Manhattan fragrance, I feel like this is the summertime sibling to that one. There are some elements of those fragrances that are similar. Now that had more of a mint note in it. This one does not have mint. This instead has more of like, to my nose, I'm smelling more like a sea salt air accord mixed with some of those like, I would say like muskier, manly cologne type of fragrances. I really like this fragrance. I like burning it in my bedroom at night. Yeah, there's a little tiny bit of lavender, but there's not like lavender. I think what I'm smelling is the driftwood and the moss. It's funny, bergamot. We all know that Kringle has a love affair with bergamot going on. But yeah, I really enjoy this fragrance of the evening. Now, I will say strength and throw on this one started out pretty strong. I would say initially when I started burning this, it was about an 8. I'm a little bit beyond the halfway point now, and I do find this with a lot of soy wax candles that their strength and throw can fluctuate depending where I am at in the vessel. I don't know what the science is behind that, but I do know that that's not just unique to Kringle or Country Candle. I also experience it with my Caramel Sundays candles. This one for me, I would say is between a 6 and a 7 right now, which is why I've been burning it in the bedroom. I feel like it just performs a little bit better in there. I keep smelling it because this is one that's funny. It's not really in my wheelhouse, but it's one that I definitely appreciate. I am really liking it. And then the fragrance that I have really enjoyed burning it with, this is a fragrance that I talked about. I love this fragrance from Bath & Body Works, and I talked about it in my empties because I've already burned through one this year. I somehow neglected to put this in my top summer candles, and I don't know how I did that. But this, to me, Santorini Coast, is the most versatile Bath & Body Works candle in the summertime. Fun fact about me, you guys. Before I go into the fragrance notes here, Bath & Body Works, to me, their summer lineup, to me personally, is probably my least favorite. I find a lot of their summer scents to just be too artificial, too sugary, too. I don't know. There's something about their summer fragrances that I don't tend to shop with them. I feel like Bath & Body Works really nails fall well. I feel like that's usually been their strong suit, but a lot of their summer scents don't really appeal to me. But Santorini Coast does. Fragrance notes here are creamy coconut, almond blossom, warm vanilla. This is like a warm coconut gourmand type of fragrance. There's no cookie or cake element to it, but it's just a good creamy coconut fragrance. And I like this because, again, it blends really well with a lot of other fragrances. It complements the Seaside. It complements a couple of other candles I've got going on here that I will talk about. You can burn it with a lot of other fragrances. And I will say that this year's version, you guys know I've been hard on Bath & Body Works, but this year's version, the first candle that I burned has burned really well for me. I didn't get any soot. The wicks performed well. The strength and throw was good. Solid 8, I would say, 8 to 9 almost in terms of strength and throw. Been very, very good for me. In fact, I've actually found this candle to be almost too strong in the bedroom. So I will usually burn this out here in the open concept as an anchor scent. And then again, I'll burn like Seaside or something like that in there. But I do have one more of these in my stash because it's burning very, very well for me. Let's talk about a Kringle 4-wick that I've actually been burning that Santorini Coast with. I'm going to try to move it around here. I definitely don't want these to drop. So one of my favorite fragrances that I enjoy from Kringle in the summertime is Sea Salt and Tonka. Now, the fragrance notes on Sea Salt and Tonka are sea salt, tonka bean, lemon, marine, citrus, lavender, jasmine base, amber, sugar, or sheer musk, and cedar. And here's the thing about this fragrance. This one I had in a 2-wick, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, and I loved it, but it was in a medium 2-wick and I didn't get much strength and throw. And I thought, you know what, I would repurchase this, but I want more from it. So when they released it in a 4-wick, I was like, okay, that's my sign to go ahead and try it again. And I'm going to tell you guys, I burned it a little bit so far. I mean, these 4-wicks, they don't burn as quickly, I feel like. This is beautiful. Now, I will say strength and throw is much better on this 4-wick than on the 2-wick that I had in the past. I would say strength and throw right now on this candle is a solid 8 for me. This is a very, I would put it almost like in a calm, maybe spa-like type of fragrance. My friend Connor says it reminds me of lemon lavender from Yankee. I don't get that. To my nose, I do detect some lemon. I do detect like citrus in there, little bit of lavender, but this is not like lavender scent. I get the base note, oddly enough, of cedar and some type of like, I like that they use the word sheer musk because it's not a very heavy musky scent, but there's a little bit up there to lend some perfuminess. I get tonka bean. I get like a sea salt air accord. This is also another fragrance that I love burning in the evenings. It's a great kind of like calming type of fragrance. Again, kind of in that, like, I would say like almost like spa vibes. It's a very relaxing type of fragrance. I really, really like this one. It's clean. It's not going to be offensive. I think a lot of people would actually find this fragrance to be very pleasant. But yeah, really been enjoying this. And in fact, I will be sharing a Kringle haul with you guys either this weekend or throughout the next week here. I'm kind of, the day that I'm filming this, I'm kind of in a little bit of a jumble because my May Caramel Sundays candle haul was supposed to be delivered yesterday, but UPS has not updated the tracking on it since Monday, and last it was on Monday, it was in Dallas, Texas. So here I am filming this on Thursday the 5th, and I don't know where my Caramel Sundays candle order is, and I had planned to film that actually today since it was supposed to be delivered yesterday, so I could have that haul up for you guys this weekend. And then the other thing that I thought was like, okay, well, maybe I'll do my Kringle Part 1 haul, but then I got notification that the second part of that Memorial Day sale order should be delivered tomorrow on Friday. So I don't know, you guys. Hopefully this weekend I will have a haul to share with you. It will either be my Kringle Memorial Day haul or it will be my Caramel Sundays haul. You'll notice that I don't have any Caramel Sundays candles here today because I actually finished burning 2 of them. I'll talk about them in my empties video next weekend. And I'm waiting on that May restock, which I have a couple of summer candles in that one. So anyways, things are a little bit all over the place. And the other thing that I did want to say is that I was notified this morning that Kringle is going to be launching, I think it's 4 new reserves. It kind of looks like maybe like a summer games type of collection. There's a polo, there's tea time, like not like tea time, like golfing tea time. What was the other one? There was a Tangelo Sour, and then Blackjack. All 4 of those are going to be released on Thursday, June 19th. And I was notified that they are sending those to me in PR. So I will make sure to give you guys some first sniffs impression. I feel like those are probably not as high of a sellout risk as, say, the cherry pie candle was, which also was restocked this morning. But yeah, anyways, that took a little bit of a side tangent there. Just wanted to let you guys know, like, what might be coming up this weekend, because I was talking about Kringle, I guess. I don't know. I'm all over the place here. All right, let's take a break from Kringle here for a minute and talk about a Homeworx candle that was sent to me in PR. Now, this is a fragrance that I've had before in a 4-wick. This is the fragrance Pineapple Colada. Now, this one is in a 3-wick. We have fragrance notes here of fresh pineapple, coconut milk, Madagascar vanilla, peach, tangerine juice. Now, I actually really like this fragrance. I think I've had it twice before, actually. This is very pineapple forward, but you do get a little bit of, it kind of reminds me a little bit of a pina colada, very pineapple forward pina colada. It's not as creamy, I would say. There's a little bit of a coconut element, but not really. This, you can smell that there's like, it's amped up by maybe some citrus in the background, which I say would be that tangerine juice. But it's very pineapple forward, but it's not artificial pineapple. I typically don't like pineapple fragrances, but I really enjoy this one. Probably the vanilla in here maybe tones it down a little bit. And I like that they say fresh pineapple, because that's actually what I'm smelling. It's not like a syrupy pineapple. It definitely smells like a freshly cut pineapple in here. Now, here's the thing with this candle. I don't typically love Homeworx 3-wicks. I feel like they should just stick to their 4-wicks, because those, even those sometimes struggle with strength and throws. So the 3-wicks, a lot of their 3-wicks just have not performed well for me. Now, this one I have actually been burning in a hurricane in my bedrooms, because I thought, like, I'm not going to start it out in the open concept, because I don't necessarily think that it'll perform well. I'm just being honest. Based off of my previous experiences with their 3-wicks, I don't have much hope that a 3-wick is going to fill up the space here. However, burning this in a hurricane, the downside, it's taking forever to pull out, even in a hurricane. The upside, this actually, I can smell it really, really well in the bedrooms in a hurricane when I am burning it. So in a hurricane in my bedrooms right now, again, I haven't tested it out here yet, I would give it about a 7. Now, the thing that I think that is possibly helping that is that the pour date of this candle is May 2024. So this candle was poured over a year ago. And I think that that is maybe helping it to have a little bit of extra oomph to it. But I will burn this one out here in the open concept before I do a dedicated review. I'll make sure that I burn it without a hurricane too, so that way I can give you some more fully developed thoughts. This one, I believe, is on the Slatkin & Co. website starting, well, I think I'm planning to upload this on Friday the 6th. Today, they should be launching their Golden Hour collection, and I think that this is now available on the website. The other fragrance that I know a lot of people are excited to see return to Slatkin & Co. is the Key Lime Cake. Funny story about that, you guys. I actually received an email last week that was being sent to me in PR, and I was so excited that I was like, I love that fragrance, like, yay, so excited. And then I noticed Melanie uploaded her review of it yesterday. I think I did a review on it last year when I had it from QVC. So I wasn't necessarily excited to get it for review purposes, mainly just that I know that I love that fragrance. And I was like, great, another candle, that I know that I love. But Melanie uploaded the review, and she was like, and I was like, wow, so she got that probably about a week ago. And then I emailed another ambassador, and he was like, yeah, it showed up on my doorstep a week ago. So I had to send a message over to Slatkin & Co. I was like, do we have a tracking number on that PR? Because I think mine must have gotten lost. It still has not shown up. But regardless, you guys, that key lime cake, I definitely plan to get my hands on more of it. But it is now back on the Slatkin & Co. website. Let's talk about the fragrance that I like to burn Pineapple Colada with. It is the fragrance that I think all of us Kringle ambassadors rave about in the summertime, Sea Breeze from Kringle. Now, this was one of the fragrances that I had in a 3-wick that had one of those late December, early you know, it was like early 2024 pours on it where I had issues with the wicks in the 3-wick. I have 2 of those that the second one also gave me issues. So I'm just going to crock that. So I was like, okay, let's just go ahead and light up the 4-wick. The 4-wick is everything that I wanted it to be and more. Last I checked on the Kringle website, I believe this one sold out during the Memorial Day sale. But rest assured, they will re-pour more of this. So we have fragrance notes here of ozone, coconut, fruit, green, coconut, amber. This to me, this I will say, similar to how I said that Santorini Coast is the most versatile fragrance that Bath & Body Works offers in the summertime. I would say that if you like coconut fragrances, but this is not coconut gourmand, but if you just like a good coconut fragrance, Sea Breeze is, in my opinion, the most versatile fragrance that Kringle offers for the summer season because it just pairs so nicely with a variety of fragrances. This goes really nicely with that pineapple colada. It burns nicely with, what else? With the ice cream sandwiches, with Seaside. I actually have a fragrance on its way to me in that Kringle haul that I actually am very curious to see how it pairs. I'll just, spoiler alert, it's the saltwater taffy. I've had that fragrance before and I'm curious to see how they pair. This one just, it goes so nicely with everything. Banana Boat from Caramel Sundays pairs really nicely with this fragrance. It's such a lovely, lovely scent. So the 4-wick performing like a champ for me. Good solid 8.5, I would say, in terms of strength and throw. But yeah, definitely got this one out. And here's the thing, you guys. I have a fail from Kringle Candle, and this one this was a backup that I had from, I purchased this, I think, in late 2023, early 2024, because the first time I purchased this was the summer, I think it was the summer of 2023 is when I purchased this, because I feel like that's the year that they came out with a lot of these 3-wicks. My years get all jumbled up. Okay, so the first time I had this candle, it was great for me. It performed really, really well. I was like, oh, okay. So when I saw it in on sale for, like, you know, when Kringle will run their 3-wicks for like $11, $12, $10, somewhere around there, I was like, okay, I'm going to get 2 more because I know that I loved pairing it with Sea Breeze. Well, last summer when I lit it up, I was like, this does not have any fragrance to it, which is odd because I can smell it on cold, but when I light it up, could barely smell it. I did a post-burn review and even mentioned that, saying, I don't know what happened. So I thought, okay, well, I'll let the other one sit for a year, bring it out next year. And it is the fragrance Ocean Tide. So we have fragrance notes of palm leaf, coconut water, fresh banana, hibiscus, tiare flower, tropical fruity, vanilla sugar, tonka bean, and musks. And here's the thing. This fragrance, I believe, is a repackage of the scent Paradise Breeze that used to be in the Country lineup. This is a fantastic banana. It almost smells like banana taffy to me, but not artificial salt. Like, this is like the saltwater taffy in Kringle has a strawberry vibe to it. I feel like it's that same base with a banana vibe to it. The banana in here, though, is not too artificial Laffy Taffy. There is a sea salt accord to this that I really like. Now, I hope that they figure out what's going on with this, because in this 3-wick format, I don't know if it's that, like, the oils are, I don't know. I don't know what happened with this, because like I said, the first iteration I had of it, it was fantastic. But then these other 2 that I bought from another pour are not good at all. So I hope Kringle looks into that to see, like, maybe what happened with that fragrance, because again, I lit this one up the other day for the first time and I couldn't smell it at all in my bedroom. Closed concept, had it in a hurricane, could not smell it at all. So I think what I will do is I will probably end up putting this in a candle crock, maybe during a week where I'm really, really busy and I'm in and out of the house and not able to really, like, burn candles consistently. But it's really disappointing because this is a fantastic fragrance. It paired really nicely with Sea Breeze when I could smell it the first time, but it's kind of a womp womp for me right now. Okay, and then I think I have 2 more country candles to talk about here. The first one that I wanted to talk about is the fragrance Sunset Sands. Now, this one is not available anymore. This was part of a limited edition run back in January of 2024. And I like this fragrance. It's in that, like, sunscreeny type of scent. This one's got a little bit of like a, there's neroli in here. There is, yeah, I definitely smell neroli, maybe like a sandalwood base. Maybe not too much sandalwood, because their Life's a Beach candle I did a review on last week, and I told you guys I don't really like that one. There's something about the mix of that I'm not loving. This is very much reminiscent of like 90s sunscreen to me. No lycra note like there would be in the Vacation, but this is a very, very nice fragrance. I mentioned in a review that I did on the other candle that I'm going to talk about here this week, Sand and Santal, that Sand and Santal pairs really, really nicely with the Sunset Sands. Now, I think what separates Sand and Santal, which is still available, this has a little bit more coconut in it. I feel like the, what was this? Sunset Sands doesn't have coconut. In a bizarre way, I got to thinking last week when I did this review, I got to thinking, I wonder if Sunset Sands was part of like their test batch, because Sunset Sands came out in their limited edition release in January of 2024. And then Sand and Santal was part of the spring and summer lineup for 2024. And that launched in February. Part of me wonders if this was like a batch variation, like they just made some tweaks, you know, when they were coming up with the concept for Sand and Santal, that this was one of the ones that didn't make the cut, but they were like, but it is still kind of a good fragrance. Similar to I think of when Melanie was doing her vintage Pomander fragrance with Kringle. Some of the samples that they sent to her, she ended up saying like, this isn't what I was looking for. But one of the fragrances that she told Mick, she said, you should make this into a fragrance. It's not what I'm looking for, is the fragrance Away in a Manger. That one ended up being, that one actually is probably my favorite, like orange pomander type of fragrance from Kringle. So there's part of me that wonders if like Sunset Sands was part of like their test batch, but they went ahead and went with Sand and Santal to keep around a little bit longer. And I will tell you, I think Sand and Santal is my favorite. Again, another kind of like sunscreeny fragrance. You've got neroli, you've got coconut. They don't have the notes listed here, but I just did a review on this a couple of days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. I'm trying to remember when all of my reviews go up. Fun fact, you guys, I usually film my reviews, batch film them, and then like I just, you know, kind of set them to upload. But anyways, both of these fragrances, I will say, the Sand and Santal, which is the one that you can get your hands on, I did mention that it is fairly strong. I initially said like, oh, it might be between a 7 and an 8, but then I was burning it out here in the open concept, and I was like, yeah, it's more of an 8, I would say, in strength and throw. The wicks on this one, again, this is from 2024. They did burn a little bit hot, but I don't know if newer pours, if maybe the wicks are a little bit more tame. So, like I said, I warned you guys that this was going to be a lengthy video. It typically usually is. I'm looking over here at my screen finder. It says it's at 37 minutes. Also, I laugh about my little mic right here. I said it looks like I have like a little baby porcupine just hanging out right here, but I put it on because I feel like it helps with the audio quality. And I'm in the time of year where I have kids home right now for summertime, and you know, there could be background noise going on. So I'm trying to cut down on all of that. But let me know in the comment box down below if any of these candles are currently in your rotation. Are any of these your favorites? Have you had any similar burn experiences? Or you can comment and say you've had different experiences, or you pick up on different fragrance notes. I feel like that is always really beneficial to the community as a whole. Like I said, this weekend, I hope to have either a Kringle haul or a Caramel Sundays haul to share with you guys. One of those two will be up for you guys hopefully at some point this weekend. I did also want to let you guys know that I am coming into the time of year where I'm going to try to stay on top of my videos, but just being honest with you guys, we, you know, I just mentioned my kids are home for the summer. We've got a pool pass. This tends to be the time of the year where I just really kind of have a little bit lazier days. Sometimes I get around to filming, sometimes I don't. So if you notice that my filming or like my upload schedule might look a little bit different, that is why I'm just enjoying some time with my babies. We purchased a summer pool pass for the kids, so they have been enjoying doing that almost every afternoon. So anyways, just wanted to let you guys know that if you notice some little fluctuations on the channel throughout the next couple of months, that is why. So again, you guys, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you are new, hit that thumbs up button. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.